I see 4 hands, 3 hands. All right, good deal. Did anybody go to the beach over the weekend? No beachers? Anybody go hiking? No hiking? Anybody get in a pool, maybe? Hot weather?
I actually bought a pool, and I'm swimming. I was swimming.
I'm going to have to fly out all the way to come and hop in the pool. I need a pool.
Yeah.
Anybody play any video games over the weekend? Video games? Ooh, everybody did. All right. Well, I'll have to figure out what games you guys play. See what kind of characters you got. So, base Maverick, you guys good now? Can we stretch? Are we good? Is everybody good to stretch? All right, let's stretch. Let's pick an arm, right? We're going to bring it over top of the other. I'm going to do my right. Ooh, it feels nice. You can do a little extra movement here where you twist your body. You really feel that flat twist. We'll switch it up now. The next arm, you want to try it. That's all it is. It's a small movement. You can actually feel every muscle individually stretch. Good deal. All right, let's take it behind the back now. And we'll switch. Real quick, while we're stretching, be thinking of 2 of the biggest reasons why you think you would bunt. 2 big reasons, 2 main reasons to bunt. I'll ask in a second. All right, let's do some arm circles. Palms up, and we will go backwards. All right, now we'll do arm circles forward. If you feel a slight burn, that's good. We'll get rid of that in a second. All right, go ahead, take your fingers, point them away from you, right, and grab it with your hand, stretch down, right? You get the bottom of the forearm, which is one of the biggest muscles you use when playing baseball. You guys ever watch any of your favorite baseball teams? You're going to notice a lot of those guys, when they get up to bat, they look like Popeye with those giant forearms. It's an important muscle. Every great power. All right, go ahead and do the same with this hand now. Again, fingers pointing away from you, palm facing out, or just grabbing the fingers, right, pulling down. All right. Good deal. And then real quick, now let's do the top of the forearm. This time, knuckles out, fingers pointing down. Same thing, just this. You should feel it on the top of your forearm now. All right, let's go ahead and do the same thing this hand. Good deal, good deal. For those of you just joining, we are just stretching out real quick. All right, I know you guys like the windmills, so we'll go ahead and do the windmills real quick. Windmill is spread your arms, you're literally just kind of going back and forth like windmill. All right. Everybody feeling nice and good, upper body, everything's nice and loose. You can do the wave, right? All right, let's get the lower legs involved real quick. Touch our toes for about 10 seconds. And about 5, 4, 3, 1. Spread them out. And we're going to pick a side. Doesn't matter which side. We're going to do them all. right? And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go to the other side. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down the middle. Almost like you're fielding a ball. Get those palms as wide as you can off the ground. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And before we come back up, let's just twist our hips. Almost like a windmill, but facing up. All right, good deal. Everybody feeling pretty loose? You guys probably got this down to a routine now. Relieving all those tight muscles. Okay, so for those of you who were paying attention to my question, anybody off the top of their head, can they give me 2 big reasons of why you think you would bunt? Raise your hand and I will call you out. 2 big reasons why you think you would bunt. All right, Brett, you answer first. I'm going to unmute you, bud. All right, bud, what you got? What are your 2 biggest reasons?
To move a runner and to catch the other team off guard.
Catching the other team off guard. That's pretty dead on. So that's kind of what I was looking for. So to advance the runner, right, and disrupt the infield, right, catching them off guard. So pretty much the exact same thing, right? You bunt, you're going to mix up the infield. Some of them aren't going to know what to do. Some of them are. Either way, you're causing chaos for everybody, okay? And then also, you got suicide squeezes, safety squeezes, advancing runners to scoring position. Bunting is a huge, huge, huge part of the game. So with that being said, I know you guys are at home. You don't have anybody throwing to you. We can't necessarily bunt, but we can do a little bit of dry runs. So is there anybody here who knows how to bunt? Raise your hand. Okay, we've got a few. So for those of you who did raise your hand, go ahead and get into that bunting position like you're about to bunt that ball. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly demonstrate what I do when I bunt. I was a pretty decent bunter when I played. I was pretty fast, so bunting is something I had to be good at. So all we're doing, if this is the plate, right, we're going to go towards the front of the plate, right, like we normally do. And all we're doing, it's like how we rotate our back foot, is we're going to rotate our feet, or our belt buckle is facing the pitcher, okay? We're rotating, right? We're grabbing the bat by the neck. So here's the sweet spot, right? We don't want to wrap our hand around that bat, because if that ball hits our finger, we're breaking that finger, right? We're going to choke it or pitch it in the neck. Pitch it in the neck where everything is hidden in the back, okay? So now we're turning, right? Our feet are facing, our belt buckle is towards the pitcher. Now we've got it by the neck. Now all we're going to do is get in an athletic position, and we're not going out to go get that ball, right? We're letting it come to us. If we go out to get that ball, a lot of different things can happen. It's unpredictable, which we don't like. We want to know, we want to be in control of the situation. So to help us control the situation, right? To aim the ball as a bunter, all you have to do is pivot the bat like this. Now, if the pitch is high, we're just moving our legs, right? Up and down. If the pitch is low, high, whatever. We're not trying to do any of this crazy stuff, right? Here. We want to control where it goes. Here, right? We're never angling the bat, right? So if I turn and face you, my bat's like this. Any guesses where that ball is going to go? Probably right to my face, right? It's going to bounce off here and go right to my face. I've seen a lot of people do that. We want that bat level out in front of us, just like if we were hitting through that ball. But now it's a super soft hit, right? We're letting it come to us. So what we're going to do to practice for a few dry runs, we're going to start like we're getting ready to hit, right? Then we're going to turn, face the pitcher, choke it by the neck, go up and down and practice doing this. Right? Just a few reps of that. Nothing too serious, but just kind of get the feel of what it's going to be like in a game situation. Because I promise, if you can do it, comfortably while you're practicing with yourself. In a game when that adrenaline's rushing, you're gonna do it just as good, okay? Reps are key here. Reps are key to success. Another thing, you don't have to do this, but I've learned through my career of bunting, is if you choke up on the bat, you actually can get a little bit more control on the ball. So if you're normally down here, right, and you know you're about to bunt, you want to try, next time you're gonna practice, choke up a little bit, right? So now when you turn, you have more control with your hands being closer together, what you can do with that ball, right? Just something I've learned. So not something you have to do, it's just, it works for me. So again, just practicing a few dry reps. Just want the transition from loading to a bunt to be really smooth.
Guys, bunting is one of those things that as under practiced and under used, it's one of the most useful things in a game. If you want to just get a guy on really quickly, if the infielders are playing back, if you need to move a guy over in order to get a run, or even just to throw them off, you can go ahead and bunt. Because if you guys are able to lay down a bunt, you just have that many more tools in your arsenal that you can be a deadly and threatening hitter. So you can hit the ball anywhere in the field, you can lay it down right in front of the plate, you can do all those things, you'll be a deadly hitter. I got a question for you guys. Do you want to be in the front of the box or the back of the box? Go ahead and you guys have an answer, you can raise your hand. Mason, let's hear it.
Front of the box.
Do you know why that is?
No.
All righty. Well, you're 100% correct on that. You want to be in the front of the box so that you can use more of the field. If you're further back in the box, you know how you have those the white foul lines, right? Now you have to aim it to get it there. Instead of being in the front of the box where you're already perfectly in line, you don't have to worry about hitting foul balls as much. You just have to tilt that bat.
Also, the further back you are in the box, especially as you get older, the more you're giving the ball a chance to do something crazy on you. Like some pitchers, their ball won't break so it's the back of the box where it's the most nasty, okay? You're out in the front of the box, you might be catching it as it's breaking or before it even breaks, right? So just kind of another advantage to being out in front. I know a lot of you don't have curveballs being thrown at you yet, but same thing with the fastball. It can do just as crazy things as a curveball can. All right, so that was pretty easy. Now we'll get back into our normal routine, our warm-up. So for today, we're gonna break down pretty much each point of the swing, the three most important parts, right? So for our warm-up, we're just gonna get loose before we get into anything else. It's all gonna kind of build up together. So let's start that. We've never done one-handed top hand drills, right? So today's gonna be the first time trying the top hand. I trust a lot of you guys who've been with us for a few weeks now, getting your elbow into slot. So now we're gonna try it, choking up, doing the same thing, getting the elbow into slot without, tennis racketing that ball, right? We're not playing tennis, trying to hit it from under. We're going straight through that ball, okay? Straight through the ball, just like you would be doing with two hands, right? Dropping that elbow into slot. So I'll show you how it's supposed to look. Okay. If you guys want to do the rocking drill with it, that's fine. I'll show you with the rocking drill. So, right? So 1, 2, 3. Nice, easy tap. Putting that ball in, right? Almost think of it like a punch, right? We're punching that ball in. Kind of how you uppercut somebody, right? But we're going through it, right? We're not coming up. We're going through it. Your body will naturally take you on that plane that you need to go after, okay? So we're going to start with that, right? Again, we're making sure this elbow drops into the slot. So for you new guys, we're starting our load as we go, we're trying to get this connected to our hip or our lat muscle right here, right, as we're going through, right? We don't want it to be one in front of the other. They're kind of both going at the same time. So as you start to rotate, right, see how they kind of are in line with each other all the way through the swing, right? Now, if I go with my arm first and then my hip, it just looks awkward and I'm losing power that way. Now, if I go with my hip first, right, my shoulders, this is following, now I've opened up. And again, I'm losing power and that ball is going to tail away, right? So we want it to ideally go at the same time. So that's the whole goal of this warm-up is to just 1, 2, and then 3. Do that ball. So I'll give you guys about 2-3 minutes. Make sure you get a lot of reps in. Make sure everything's feeling good. If you guys have questions or need help, feel free to unmute yourself at any time. I'm going to kind of keep an eye on all of you if I can. I like the Top Gun logo there, Paxton. That's pretty cool. I'll do the warm up with you guys. I'm not super warmed up yet. So again, you can choke up on the bat. It's super hard to hit straight through that ball with being all the way at the bottom. So I'll choke up to about the neck of the bat. Right. Again, we're doing this so we can get a lot of reps with good form, right? That's the only way to really make your swing the best it can be. It's just reps of perfect form, right? In a game, not everything's gonna be perfect. In practice, not everything's gonna be perfect, but if you strive to be, right, the closer you will be to achieving that kind of success, right? You're gonna have those days, but with practicing, it all builds it together, I promise. So that's why we really pound on these, getting into slot, right? Making sure our legs are going, making sure we warm up with our stretches. It all builds up together. Everybody take about 6 to 8 more swings if you can. Make sure everything's where it needs to be. Nice job, Brett. I know this is you got the cast, so good on you for making do with what you can. The one-arm trooper still. There you go, Max. That was really good. That was really good. Paxton, nice. Driving through it.
Nice, Mason.
Everybody's looking solid. All right, guys, go ahead and try and wrap up your last swings. All right, good deal, everybody. We're going to go ahead and move on, and now we're going to do it with the opposite, right? Now we're using our backhand to the ball. Backhand is it's obviously a different motion. It can feel a little bit weirder, but it's just as important to keep that elbow in the slot, okay? So for this one, right? I like to just take my arm, strap it across my chest, right? So this one's already in slot, just like if we were hitting, right? All we're doing is choking up on the bat, keep our elbow nice and tight, pointing that ball, right? And we're almost like flicking that ball in. I feel like flicking is too weak of an adjective to describe what we're gonna do. We're gonna drive that ball in, right? The only way you can do that is by keeping our shoulders closed, right? Elbow tight and in slot, right? Rotate our hips, drive that ball in, okay? Now, what I mean by keeping your shoulders closed, right? I'm swinging, right? See how I'm already opening up before I even get to that ball? My shoulders pointed the opposite direction, right? We don't want that. We want it as close towards the ball as possible, right? We don't necessarily have to have it pointed all the way at the ball. We want it in that general direction, right? All the way till we make contact with that ball, okay? So I'll show you a few reps. I'll keep an eye on you guys. I'll give you pointers as we go. Again, elbow kind of pointed in, keeping it tucked, keeping it kind of glued to this side. Not as much as this one, but close, right? Keeping it close. Just drive that in. Again, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. The big thing here is we're just trying to keep everything in the slot. So we're not looking for extreme 100-mile-an-hour off the bat into the net. This is, again, still a warm-up, still getting our body where it needs to be for these kind of mechanics.
Looking good, Maverick.
You guys are feeling like the bat's too heavy, choke up just like we did before, okay? There's no reason to have to hold the bat all the way down here for a drill like this, unless you have a tiny bat, a baby bat. It's not going to be ideal. You're going to wear yourself out pretty quick. The worst thing we want to do is do a bunch of reps with really bad form, okay? Again, we're trying to be perfect for all these reps. Consistency is the key. Everybody go ahead and take about 5 to 6 more swings. Again, I know doing this with the front hand can be really hard. We're still growing those muscles. I know a lot of you guys are still young. So feel free to rest it on your shoulder, kind of rock into it, right? Again, once you feel what it's like to hit it with keeping your shoulders closed, it's going to kind of click to what you need to do, right? So even if I relax and have it on my shoulder, and I get just a little bit of a twist, right? And I drive into that ball, I'm not going to open up. I'm not going to feel like I'm dragging that bat behind me, okay? So I know some of you, you'll swing and it feels like that bat is way far behind your hips, right? We can get it all to go at the same time. I'll give you guys about 2, 3 more swings. All right, good deal, everybody. All right, so now we have our top half warmed up. We're gonna do the Bryce Harper drill because I know a lot of you guys like it, and I personally find it as one of my favorites to get my lower half warmed up. And then we're gonna break down the swing after that. So let's get our lower half warmed up. I'll show you guys how this drill works. Again, it's to get our lower half warmed up. So now that we have our elbows kind of loose, getting into the slot, we're in that rhythm. We're gonna start on the lower half by taking an exaggerated load, okay? This is something Bryce Harper came up with. When we take our foot, we literally coil it up. We're trying to show the pitcher either a back pocket or the bottom of our foot, okay? We're literally up here twisting, right? Nobody's really taking this big of a load in a game, including Bryce Harper. He doesn't even take that big of a load, right? It's just to coil up your body like a rubber band, right? We'll wrap a rubber band around our finger, and when we let go, it goes like crazy, right? That's kind of the same concept of our swing. We want to coil up our body, right? Get that foot down, and uncoil and explode onto that ball, okay? I'll show you guys again. Yeah, if you have questions or it doesn't make sense, you can either watch me or read it yourself. Try to keep an eye on that kind of thing. Again, we'll start with our normal stance, coil up, right? Get the foot down, explode through that ball, okay? Don't exaggerate that step to the point where you're leaning back and your shoulders are moving in a different direction. However your shoulders start, we want them to finish the same way, okay? So if we coil up, right, we start dipping, that's bad. Start flowing forward, that's bad. We want a nice balanced position. We want to get that foot down while maintaining control. But notice my shoulders never change, right? The plane never changes, the direction never changes. I literally am just coiling my lower half, dropping that foot, exploding through that ball, okay?
Nice, Maddie, that looked good.
This is a really, really satisfying, fun drill, especially to get your lower half warmed up. But if you do it right, it feels even better.
Nice, Maverick. Looking good, Max. I see you working, Brett. I think they're court. Looking good. There's Paxton. You guys are all looking great. Paxton.
Nice job, Brett. That's to do with just one arm.
Nice, Charles.
I don't know if some of you feel like Bryce Harper while you're doing this, but I sure do. Feel like I'm imitating his swing, right? I don't know if you guys ever watch him swing, but he gets that leg really coiled up, twisted in. You guys are going to start utilizing that power that didn't realize there, right, that you just weren't using it. And you're also going to realize it by how much power you can gain behind your swing by just making good contact with good form. You don't even need to swing crazy hard. If you can just make good contact, a lot of times the pitcher's going to provide that fuel for you. You just got to make good contact. Now you add both of the best worlds combined, and you guys are crushing it.
Speaking of crushing it, I saw Paxton hit it over the fence.
Got ourselves a home run. Got ourselves a dinger.
That looks good, Paxton. Nice. Remembering, guys, we don't want to coil when we're coiling up. We don't want all the way back, right? Because when we do that, our head starts to turn. Gotta make sure that our body's coiling, head staying in the same spot, driving to the ball. Once we start over rotating those shoulders, the hands start to fly out, and we're not in that slot anymore, right? Our elbow and our arm are out. Gotta keep it nice and in, driving the hands to the ball.
Again, to top on to what he just said, it really helps to have an athletic position so you can find that balance point, right? If you're not balanced while you're doing this, it does play a huge effect into your swing. So when you do it nice and slow, controlled, right? Nice, easy coil up, right? Can I hold it? Can I get it down nice and easy, still be athletic, and drive through that ball? Another way to think about it is like a rubber band gun. I don't know if you guys have ever used a rubber band gun. You stretch out the rubber band, right? You load it into the thing. We're stretching out the rubber band, we're loaded, and then we just explode. Same concept.
So guys, this is like your finger when you're wrapping a rubber band around it. That's going to be the center of our body. See how Coach Peyton's head is still over top of the pole? Nothing's changing. He's coiling his body around it, and then he explodes to the ball without moving his head in front of the pole, behind it, up, down, you name it. Nice, Max. Nice, Paxton. Let's see a couple more here.
Go ahead and get about 5 more swings, guys. 5 more swings.
Nice, Maddie. Maverick, Brett, you're looking good. No, it's not the easiest, but being a trooper there, Brett. Way to keep up the good work.
All right, guys. Real solid swings I saw there. So now we're going to break down everything as you guys have warmed up. This is a really helpful drill. This is one I would do for hours, whether off a tee, whether off soft toss, or without even a ball, okay? So pretty simple, right? We're starting in our normal stance, right? Just like last week, we practiced the loads, right? Getting our hands in a good spot. That's what we're going to do here. So we're going to load, we're going to pause, make sure we're good. We're going to step, right? We're still good, we're gonna drive, okay? The reason is now you're able to individualize each point of the swing, right? So that load, you're here, and then you take your step, you drop your hands, now you know what you're doing in that aspect, right? Now when we swing, right, we're stepping while we're swinging, right? Now we know we're going a little too early, we're getting ahead of ourselves, okay? So we're kind of like semi-breaking it down here the simplest way possible. So again, load, we're good, step, we're good, drop, okay? Load, step, drop, okay?
Do you have a question there, Court?
As simple as this drill is, it is highly beneficial for you to break down and see what the swing in full motion is, okay? Also, because a lot of you might be used to swinging as your foot's coming down, now it's gonna feel a little bit different. You're gonna see what it should feel like and what it should look like in slow motion. A lot of you may end up hitting that tee because you didn't realize your hands dropped when you take that step, okay? There's a lot of different things you can learn from this.
Court, do you have a question there?
You guys also get to see what it's like not having a slight momentum, right, with that one fluid motion. Now we're like pausing at each step, so you may feel a little bit slower behind the ball, but that's okay. We're just striving for good contact here. This is, again, ultimately what your swing is this right here. Sure, there's other aspects to it, but in game, you're loading, you're stepping, and you're driving. And since you are pausing, check yourself as you're driving. When you drive, do you do something different, right? Are you dropping your hands then? Are you opening your shoulders? Something that's going at the same time, right? So kind of keen in on each little aspect of this little breakdown. It's literally 1, 2, 3. You guys are finding it hard to be consistent, just go back to the beginning, shake it loose, refresh, start over. 1, 2, 3. And each time, add a little new thing to build up from if you're not finding the right swing that you want, the right point of contact. Go ahead and take about 3, 4 more swings.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna add everything all into one motion now. Everything you just worked on in practice, we're gonna put it to the test. We're not gonna just take regular swings, we're gonna step into the box, right? I know some of you have done this before, some of you haven't. Again, all we're doing is start down in position, taking one step in, right? Our lead leg, taking another step in. As soon as this back leg gets in, we don't want to hesitate, right? We're ready to go and explode on that ball, right? One, fluid motion. So 1, 2, explode into it, okay?
Nice, Max. That looked good.
So we went from slow motion to super fast now. Nice. I'm not seeing hardly any hesitation in any of you guys. It's awesome. You guys are looking good. Be intentional about where you're stepping to, right? I know you wouldn't do this in a game. The whole purpose of this, though, is to just explode, right? So we went from exploding from a static position to a moving position with momentum. In the game, it's going to be more similar to what you're doing now, right? You step and you go, okay? So just like we're stepping now, we step and we go. Once that foot is down, there's no holding back.
Nice swing there, Hanwin.
You guys are looking rock solid. Uh-oh. Careful, Maverick. All right, guys. That was the last drill we had for you today. It was I think it was a good training session. Personally, this is one of my favorite kind of series to go through, of just breaking it down, isolating every single part, right? Just like we isolated our arms, isolated each step, and then testing it out at the end. Personally, for me, I feel the difference. I hope you guys felt it too. I hope this is something you guys can continue to use. We'll be sure to work on things like this again, but again, you guys are looking good. The only thing you can do is get better from here. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody. I'm just curious. So a lot of you said you played video games this week. So raise your hand who played again. We had Mason and Maverick. What games did you guys play?
I play Nintendo Switch.
Oh, sweet. Those are cool. What about you, Paxton?
Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare. All right, that's cool. Anybody else? Anything they would like to share? Anything cool happened over the weekend? Oh, Court, you've got something. What's up, bud?
So this is my pool.
That's right. You got the pool. There you